Welcome to Conversations with Asha and Steve, where communication matters. Join us as we discuss effective ways to communicate, bridge the gaps, and build long-lasting relationships within your business and life. Here are your hosts, Asha Prasad and Steve Harper.
Oh. Okay. So, what's the title of this one? How to have a complete happy? No, I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
You made the title. What are you talking?
I know. I was in that moment. So.
Yeah, but now you're not in that moment. But you want to talk about it? Okay.
No, I have to transform myself into it.
Okay.
Transport, whatever.
That'll be some good B-roll that I'm going to use later.
We have a lot of B-roll on this.
Yes, we do.
We do.
All right, we're recording, so you're ready to go, whatever. Okay, oh, we're live streaming too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's great. It'll be entertaining. It'll be entertainment for everybody on a Saturday morning, afternoon, whatever.
I still say we should just go the R-rated Conversations with Asha and Steve,
Yeah, you know what? I haven't thought about that, Steve. Actually, I wrote some notes. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Okay. Welcome to Conversations with Asha and Steve. I am Dr. Asha Prasad, and with me is my fantabulous co-host, Steve Harper. And Steve, how are you? We are celebrating today.
We are celebrating today. Oh my God, we have a major milestone to celebrate. What is that?
It's 100th episode. I don't know why I did
that. We're sign languaging it, apparently. I don't know.
No, you know what? I just reverted back to my cheerleading days. Like whenever, I don't know what that was about, but I just had a flashback. And we would do all these different things with our hands. And so that, anyway, it just kind of came over me. But yes, today is our 100th episode. I cannot believe it, Steve. Where has the time gone? Really?
I know. We've seen this show evolve from, hey, we didn't really know what we were doing, but let's try and record, to we got into some like technology during the pandemic, to people still continue to listen to what we have to say. So we keep putting out episodes and voila, we're at 100 episodes, which is, like you said, it blows me away. How many years have we been doing this?
I want to say 3.
No.
4?
No.
Oh, is it 5?
Yeah, we're in our 5th year.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's 2022. See, the last 2 years, I just don't register.
Yeah.
So yes, that's right. 2017. You're right.
Yeah, we started this in BC before COVID, way before COVID.
Exactly.
But 100 episodes, it is amazing. I was telling somebody we were coming up on this milestone, and they're like, they have really enjoyed, the show's evolved a little bit, right? We have gone from, sort of just off the cuff kind of conversation, which people loved, to a little bit more scripted approach in terms of our conversations. We did long format, we did short format, we've done live stream. I mean, we have been, when you look at this show, no matter what you're looking for, you can find something. The only thing we did not do is coordinated dance.
Yes.
Or even singing. We really didn't do much singing. We talked about it. We talked about rapping at some point, but we never did that. But it has been a hell of a journey. And I got to say, before we even dive into today's topic, what an honor it has been to do this. 100 shows with you has been phenomenal. It shows that, I didn't drive you away like I fully expected I would. I mean, before when we were working together, you just changed countries just to get away from me. So, but I tracked you down and you continued to talk to me, and we clicked record, and look at where we're at.
Look at where we're at. No, it's been really, Steve, I will say I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. I mean, it really has. It's been a really big highlight for me. I learn something every time that we get together. And I love to hear from our listeners, people that are tuning in, what they're getting out of it and how we're helping them and how we're giving them insights and tips and everything. So it's really been an honor to do it. So
me too. I feel the same. I had somebody tell me the other day that the reason that they tune in is because you and I have such great rapport, and that's because we're such good friends. We support one another. We want to play an active role in one another's lives, but we actually, at the end of the day, really show what it means to have a good relationship. You and I have been friends for a long, long time, and 17 years, actually, believe it or not. which is survived you moving across the globe to get away from me, and I tracked you down as a stalker will, and won't let you leave me behind, even though you're in the future and I'm in the past still in terms of time zone. But the neat thing about this is that people really get some value out of these conversations, and they
Right.
really enjoyed our perspectives. I had somebody tell me, I wish you and Asha didn't actually agree because it would be fun to see you guys argue. And it's like, it's just not possible. You and
No.
I have never had a dispute. You and I have never had a
No.
crossword. You and I have always had this great rapport because at the end of the day, we have such, I think, I'll speak for myself, but I know it to be true for you, is that we have really giving hearts and we want to add value
Right.
where we can to anybody. And that's evident in the work that we do and obviously the coaching that we have. But these
Absolutely.
opportunities to share and bring up these conversations, it's been a real honor for us to do that all these years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what, Steve? I think it really does. I mean, because like your work really centers mostly about that connection with people and that relationship and building that relationship. And I will say that our working relationship and our personal relationship, I mean, it's a testament to that because
Yeah,
of the mutual respect that we have, the ability that we have to be in open communication and build something. I mean, because if you look at Steve and I separately, you would look at like on paper, I'm talking about, right? You would be like, how the heck do these two people even match in any way? Like you really would. I mean, it's funny because I get this question a lot. They're like, how do you know him and how did you guys become friends and how, and it's really funny, but it just goes to show you that you can't judge it by that. It's
yeah.
really about the human connection. It's really about how you connect with someone and how you build that relationship and how that carries. I mean, even across the miles.
Absolutely. I
So,
mean,
yeah,
like you said, if people looked at us like just as individuals, you wouldn't actually think that we are the best of friends, right? You wouldn't
right.
wouldn't have picked that out of the room.
Yes.
And probably when we first met, we were kind of like, kind of scoping each other out initially when we first met. Like, I remember you like, what's this Ripple stuff? What? Huh? What? And then you're talking about, mindfulness and you need to find balance, Steve. I'm like, I'm pretty balanced. I don't fall over a lot. I don't understand. I mean, I do fall over some. I guess maybe I do need to look at my balance. But we just found this great cadence to work together. My
Yeah.
only regret in us working together is right before you moved that we didn't get. We worked on this Starbucks project together that we just
Yes.
never got the kind of traction that we wanted because we had such brilliant ideas that we could have helped
Yeah.
their business in so many ways, but they probably didn't like the fact that it was going to be, we wanted to call it, Steve and Asha's Starbucks. But
That probably was,
yeah, that
kind
probably
of
killed the deal right there. But no, it was neat for us to work on, and that was our first effort towards putting together some energy behind an idea. And what I
exactly.
loved was that we loved that experience so much, even though it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, because Starbucks is, just didn't, get or understand what we were trying to accomplish there. But, we said we still have more to say and we've got more things to do. And so when
Exactly.
we sort of decided to start recording these conversations because we were having some great conversations, just you and I, about all the
Right.
trials and tribulations of being an entrepreneur, trying to grow a business, scale, all that stuff. We just found that we really had something of value that could benefit not only one another, but really could benefit anybody else who might listen in. Kind of that third eye on
Right.
in the conversation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's been really amazing. So, yeah, so Steve, what are we talking about today? What are we going to share with our listeners today?
So we're talking about having a complete happiness transformation. We've been talking about this theme the last several
Mhm.
episodes, and we're wrapping it up with around the topic of happiness today. But what does it
Mhm.
mean to have a complete happiness transformation, right? So
Yeah.
what does that mean?
I think it's about finding that inner happiness. Really deep within that no matter what is going on outside of you, no matter what it is, that you have just kind of this joy and this zest for life. I
Yeah.
think that that really is it's funny cuz that I think it was Eat Love Pray. Did you ever see that movie or did
Uh
you
huh.
read the book? Do you remember whenever she was in Bali and that I forgot his name, Ketu or whatever, the guy that she met, the
Katu,
medicine
right?
man, yeah, that whenever he was teaching her how to meditate, he was talking about, smile with your liver. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, I
Like
do
what
remember that. Yeah.
so it's funny because it's like one of the things that I think helps, in any situation is that whenever you smile from within and you smile a lot, you think about whenever people are learning how to answer phone calls, for example, they always say, customer service calls, smile when you answer the phone, like even if the person can't see you. And I think that that is part of that inner happiness, is to really greet the day and greet people with a smile on your face, or whether it's smiling with your liver, as that guy was saying, or
Yeah.
whatever, but it needs to come from within. And that's what a happiness transformation, what that means for me, is that it's really coming from within.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
is interesting. I do this with my coaching clients that really are
Hmm.
super serious and super focused. Get them back to that, because what tends to
Yeah.
happen is when we are in that state, we're not allowing ourselves to enjoy the experience or be a
Yeah.
part of being present. And smiling allows you to completely change your emotional state, and it
Yeah.
also changes your brain chemistry. And so
Yep.
I myself have found, because you know um, there's this phrase called RBF. Have you
Hmm.
have you heard this?
No. What is that?
Well, it's called resting. Well, there's a different word to use for the B, but
Oh no.
resting bothered face is a phrase I just heard this week. I'm listening to
Okay.
something on
Resting bothered
body
face.
language, and the woman
Interesting.
didn't like the other word, so she replaced it with bothered. And
Yeah.
I kind of liked it, because at the end of the day, when people are so serious or so focused,
Yeah.
or just kind of like consumed by all the crazy chaos, especially for
Right.
entrepreneurs in their mind, you do have this tendency to look just not happy. And
Right.
the fact that you can encourage yourself several times a day to find something to smile about, whether it's looking out the window and seeing a bird on
Exactly.
the tree, or it's the weather, and
Yeah.
or finding a friend like yourself. Like, I can get on a Zoom call and it just completely transforms my
Mhm.
entire presence, because it makes me happy. And that happiness, like you
Right.
said, smiling through your liver, really makes a huge difference.
It
And
does.
it does make an impact in terms of your overall levels of satisfaction. When we're frowning, I don't know what the scientific number is, but it's like triple the number of muscles to frown
Yeah.
or to have that just face, as opposed to smiling. And I think that's one of the
True.
best pieces of advice. If you want to change your current state, start smiling. Find something to smile about.
It's true, and it's contagious, right? Steve,
Oh, it
when
is.
someone's
Yeah.
smiling at you, it's like it's contagious. It's one of those things, then you feel like smiling, and you just pass it along. So I think that that's important.
Which it's kind of funny. So one of the things that I would say about
Mhm.
happiness transformation is to, and we've talked about this on a couple episodes, is especially get away from all the craziness of your day to day life. Just get out, find your
Yes.
happy place. And one of the happy places I have is a trail near my home that I like to walk. I like to think, and there are people on that, and so I make it a point to smile at everybody that I cross paths
Mhm.
with, right? And I don't get a lot of smiles back, for some
Right.
reason. I don't know why, but at the end of the day, maybe they think I'm a creeper. I have no idea, but I smile, because even if I don't get it back, I'm trying to project it and put it out there, and maybe
Exactly.
that person 5-10 yards past me will realize, oh, I could have smiled back, or that guy's weird, but maybe that makes them smile and changes their
Exactly.
state. But the trail for me is a happy place, and I go down to this place that I call the thinking tree, and that's where I actually sit
Oh.
under the tree and sort of just reset, kind of let my mind kind of sort through all the crazy chaos that I have. And what I actually
Mhm.
find is when I've done that and I've spent that time walking down there, spending time under the thinking tree, and then walking back, it completely transforms my attitude and my approach. And I
Mhm.
almost every time come back far happier than when I went down there.
Right.
So you got
Yeah,
to
no,
find
that's
that
true.
happy place, to make a difference, right?
That is true. You know what, Steve? I think that that is important. Finding where you feel that peacefulness and that inner happiness is really key. The other thing that I would say that's always really helped me, especially like if I'm really feeling down, really like just down and I'm stressed out or whatever, I try to find ways that I can help somebody else. because what it does, and just like spreading your kindness all throughout, you know what I mean, like giving to somebody else or helping somebody else, what that does is it takes your focus off your own whatever, misery, frustrations, whatever it is, and then you can switch that around. And what happens is that by bringing more joy or helping somebody else or lending a helping hand, not only helps that person, of course you want to help that person, but for yourself it also helps you feel happy too, because you help somebody.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of times we get so stuck into our own like gunk and our own, is that a word? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
It's definitely a word.
it's a real word. Okay, good. Because sometimes I make up words, so I have to really check. But we get so stuck into it, like, and we stay there, and that is really sucking the life out of us in that moment. It's like, why not try to figure out if there's someone that needs your help? Maybe, a friend needs you, or maybe a colleague needs you, whatever it is, even a stranger, go out and help somebody.
Hmm.
Do something with kindness, because I think that first of all, I think that we need more of that in the
Yeah.
world, and it will help you in your own happiness, transformation, in order to kind of change your state of being at that moment.
Absolutely. When you give
Hmm.
to other people, you actually are giving to yourself, and you don't
Yes.
recognize it maybe in the moment or at the time. But when you actually go back, and I always tell folks that I talk about, the ripple effect a lot. But at the end of the day, did I make a difference in anybody's life? A complete stranger,
Yes.
somebody I'm working with, for you, a patient, or someone that you're working with in your coaching practice. For me, it's, did I delight and inspire somebody in a
Right.
given day? And when I lay my head on the pillow at night and I go back through my day and I know that I did it, I can't actually help but feel happiness in that moment, because
Exactly.
it feels like that was what I was supposed to do. But two, it feels like the incredible high that you really, should experience. And that's, to me, that's what happiness is about. So that kindness,
Yeah.
spreading your kindness everywhere where you can, to anyone who will have it, I think is a really good piece of advice. And that, I would say, from a happiness transformation, one point that I'd like to make is that you got to find what drives you, and you'll ultimately find your purpose when you do that, right? What's your
Right.
motivation? What's your inspiration? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? We talk a lot about this on this podcast about, checking in with yourself, making sure you're on your path, doing the
Yeah.
things that are necessary to ensure that you are living, like we said in one of our prior episodes, living your best possible life. What is that, right?
Right.
And what that means is having some consistency in how you spend your time and invest your actions, so that
Hmm.
you are ensuring that you are following the path that you really want to be following. And the things that need to happen to keep you on the straight and narrow relative to that path can really help you define your purpose. And I think that has a big factor. I find that people that are a little less focused or don't have that sort of end game in mind, or where I want to
Hmm.
be, how do I want to spend 2022, or whatever year you might come back and listen to this episode, just insert the year, and what do I want to accomplish out of this? I
Exactly.
find that you generally, if you don't put the time or energy into it, then you feel like you're a little untethered. Maybe you have
Yeah.
no life purpose rudder, and that in its own right can cause a lot of challenges and conflicts. And so when you actually have that, when you figure out what's driving you and you can find your purpose, it helps you tie in a lot more collectively to that happiness factor, because you're
Yeah,
in control.
definitely. Yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? That is the thing. I mean, it's never too late. It's never too late to do that, to change, make a different choice, to have a different outcome in your life. And
Yeah.
that goes along with this as well, with choosing to be happy. I do think that it is a choice. Because there's some people that I know personally, that choose to be grumpy most of
Yeah.
the days. And
Yeah.
they wear it like as a badge of honor that they are grumpy. It's like, okay, well, that's your choice.
Yeah.
That's what you want to choose to do, then that's your thing. But with happiness, finding your purpose, like you were saying, it is a choice, and it's never too late to do it. And even if we are on December 31st, 2022, or December 30th, 2022, it's still possible to make a transformation just like that. It's
Yeah.
just, it's just that quick that it can happen. It just really depends on what you want to do and how you want to experience your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I would tell our listeners, I mean, think about what it would take for you and your own purposes to transform your life into a state of happiness. What would it take?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do differently? Who do I need to surround myself with? And if I need help, like engaging a coach or getting someone, to help you navigate those waters, okay, well, what will that take, and who can I connect with to make that happen?
Right.
So, in our 100th episode, our entire goal through this show has been to make a difference through these conversations. And hopefully we've brought you some laughter. Hopefully we've brought you some smiles and happiness along the way. But we'd love for you to share with us what that looks like for you. What does a complete happiness transformation really mean in your world? So, Asha, how could people give us some feedback, input, thoughts on this episode or any of the episodes, and really become a part of the Conversations with Asha and Steve community?
So definitely you can go to our website, conversationswithashaandsteve.com, or find us on Facebook or on Instagram and, reach out to us on our pages there. Send us a message, make a comment on this video, and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you and get you involved inside of our community as well.
Sorry, I keep looking to my side because I have my windows open and there's 2 vultures that have just showed up on our roof.
I was just going to say, are there birds flying in? Or
let's just say they need to get a room because they're finding their happiness right now. it's like very distracting. Okay. Like, hey, come on. Go away, vultures.
Go away. That is very funny.
Well, and maybe that'll make people smile. It's creeping me out, quite honestly. Jeez, oh, Pete, go away. All right. Well, listen, 100 episodes in the books. I mean, this has been an absolute honor and a privilege to do this with you. We're going to, we're going to take a little bit of a break for the summer because we've got a lot going on in our personal and our professional lives, but we'll be back again very soon with what's next with Conversations with Asha and Steve. Right. This is, our goal was never to end this at 100 episodes. I don't think we're ending anything, but it's a good opportunity for us to take a well-deserved break and maybe a nap and find that brings us happiness. And we'll be back refreshed, recharged, and ready to take on whatever is next. But we've been super grateful for all of you to be a part of this journey. It's been phenomenal up to this point, and there's going to be even bigger and better things coming down the pipe.
Definitely looking forward to it. And thank you for all of our listeners. And we look forward to listening, to hearing from you soon. And we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Take care. We'll see you soon. And thanks for 100 great episodes, Asha.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, that was great.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Conversations with Asha and Steve. We love to hear feedback and questions from our listeners. Please feel free to visit our Facebook page for more tips and information. You can also email us directly at info@ripplecentral.com for more information.